I can see it. Alright, so first I find a video. Now you will not see the video on this recording, the face-to-face kids will, but you'll see what I mean shortly. Calvin, I'm recording right now. And if you need to, go back. This is the one of those times, again, you can slow things down. Oop, not that, wrong one. Settings, playback speed. So go for 25, make sure you catch everything. Pause as needed. And nothing, don't be afraid to let them overlap. You don't have to draw this. This is just for the example. Note how I always use the fight scenes, not the entire thing. Now, at this stage, you're only drawing the skeleton form. Right, there's 4 poses, and I will finish up with the actual punch itself. So mine in this case is going like so. Now, once I have my figures, I go back to my notes. Alright, what body type do I want to start out with? It's not what body type is in the video, it's which one you want to actually go on with. So in this case, I'm going to start with something scrawny. In fact, let me just go ahead and use a different color so I can see clearly what I'm doing. And like I did with the last ones, I will put the joints in another color. So thin man, real scrawny, concave, Alright, so there's my first one. Alright, so if he's scrawny now, let's put just a little bit of meat on him. 5. In his case, I'm going to do 4. Not going to give him muscle just yet. We are going to say that he's eating some sandwiches. So it's not quite the American standard. Where is Dan there? Okay, now we start getting into, okay, now he is putting on a little more weight, and we can start putting more definition into his muscles. For those of you that might want to use this again as an example or inspiration, this will be going up on canvas. A stronger back, more definition of the chest. Now we get back into the Roman standard, what's called the Adonis. Whew. Kind of depth into this pencil, I'm going to make my hands hurt. Now we can start putting in the 6-pack, the stronger back, more muscles in the thighs. A few more angles here since the muscles are starting to build. Locking my joints as before. And then for the last one, we could say he gets into the beefcake range. Really showing the expansion of those muscles, really show how everything's getting pulled in one direction. Up that definition. Picking it up. Who's that old man? Then you make sure they're all each colored in. I'm going to start with a very light red here, close to a pink. And you'll have better control of this with the paint. Get it darker. And keep in mind, once you get to the painting portion, you won't be able to see your lines. Don't draw too heavy, but know that with the right paint layers, you won't see your sketches underneath. I want this to look as clean as possible. Dark still. Even darker. And then darkest like the last one. Now, what you may want to draw on top, and you may want to hold this off until you get to the very end, is the clothes. So we see here that our guy was wearing button-up and some slacks. That means the clothes, what would happen if you're wearing a button-up and you're a buff guy and you're scrawny? Would those clothes be tight or loose? If you're scrawny? Think about just to the size that they're going to end up. So if they're bulky, what's going to happen to those clothes if they're put on a scrawny person? They'll be loose. Let those pants fly. They should practically be a dress. Then they will start to tighten up a little more with each one. A little bit more. Until they start fitting on just loose enough we can tell it's tight around the muscles. And when you put on the clothes, it's up to you. You can paint them along with the rest of the clothing, or you can draw them on after the paint is dried. There is no real right or wrong answer to that, beyond, just not drawing at all. And there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, keep in mind, you can overlap. If one figure covers the other, that's fine. Just so long as I can still see enough of the body, it's all good. You can cut them out. If you think that your figure, or rather your figures, will be easier to paint and then, say, cut out and then paste onto your paper, that's fine too. Especially if, say, you want to use a color that is a complement to the one that you're using. For example, if you are going to use reds, you may want to put this on a green piece of paper. Don't worry about facial features. And that counts for everything. Hair, eyes, nose, all that. We will get to that because that will be the basis of my project after this. But what I care about more is how you capture the body and how you capture how cloth clings to it. Any questions? Alright, at this time, now we hit the lights. Get on your devices, find your source. Remember, it can be anything. A sporting event, a movie, a TV show, anime, I don't care what, so long as the figures involved are human. Let's get to work.